Welcome to the Lakefest podcast studio, and today this is going to be a raucous one. I can feel it. I've got James Cavady and Dave Middleton, royalty.
Hi, Mark. How are you?
With us today. You're not related to Kate, are you?
Not that I know of. Nobody's ever told me otherwise. So.
No.
He's got your eyes.
Yeah, that's true.
Royal love child. We're setting the tone right from the very beginning.
It's a long one.
You're at the cocktail bar, the Brethryn Cocktail Bar,
we do.
which is always, I always like to say, the last man standing. When all the other stages have shut, at the end of the festival, on a Sunday night, everyone piles in. There's literally steam coming out of your tent because it's the place to end the festival, but it's the place to start the festival as well, isn't it?
Well, indeed, yeah. So obviously we open Thursday. I think we show our wares on the Thursday night and do it at the end of the night, just a couple of hours. We used to do it on the Sunday night, didn't we, as well?
Yeah.
Finish off, but it's just too much now.
Because you don't just run the cocktail bar, you organise all the music, book all the acts, and the Brethryn is your own musical outfit.
Yes, yeah, basically. So we're a duo. Dave and I were friends.
Are we?
First, yeah.
Yeah,
Friends first, colleagues
friends-
later.
friends
That
and-
sounds all right.
I've never agreed to that, but apparently we are. So
It's
here
true.
we go.
Well, yeah, it's in contract.
Yeah.
And then, we basically just got on and just
Yeah.
realised we actually lived opposite each other for about 12 months and didn't even know.
Really?
Yeah, that just tells you the sort of people that we are. That we never noticed each other. At all,
That tells you
even though we're
that
neighbours.
that says the neighbourhood that you live in is really unfriendly.
No, it's just us two.
It's just him.
Everyone else.
Oh yeah, everyone else is
It's
street
purely
party.
me.
You're inside with
Yeah.
the curtains shut.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we just got together basically, and
Yeah.
realised we played. Dave was in a sort of professional outfit, if you like, band-wise down in Swindon, and I just started really performing. Because we were friends, like-minded.
Yeah.
Good sense of humour, I would say, and we just got together. Yeah, and that's where the Brethryn was formed. So it's just still a duo basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a hobby, isn't it?
Well, you can't make money off it, I suppose. No.
It's all about the love of music.
The-
We make a
there's
little bit of money.
A little bit of money.
Yeah.
So you started performing as the Brethryn then, before you met Lee, or was your first
Yeah.
Lakefest appearance like, we're going to do that, and then that grew into the cocktail
No,
tent?
so we were asked originally to help out with the open mic tent, which is where the cocktail tent basically started.
Yeah.
So we've still got the same cocktail guys now than we had then, but the tent has just grown and grown and grown. So to start with, so obviously we've been friends with Lee for a while anyway. He saw us perform, I suppose, a couple of times and asked us if we could do like an open mic tent thing in the corner of the festival. So we used to just get people on, do a couple of tracks. We'd play every night at that point.
Yeah,
Which
it
is
was
obviously shattering.
It was chaos. Yeah, but obviously a music festival, there's always going to be people that are there for that that want to. We just want to give them an opportunity to get up and do it, and that's where it started, and now it is what it is.
Yeah. And you guys work really, really, really hard. Every time I see you by the Sunday, you're exhausted.
Well, yes. I mean, Dave, I got to admit, I'm sort of the physical side of things. I do a little bit more than Dave because he's a wizard on the computer and the organising and. Basically, during the year, we have to sort of put the bands. We go and see every single band that comes on. So we take pride in the standard of music that we've got. But Dave is A1 on the sort of organising little contracts, what you have to do, what time you have to be there.
Sorting out the riders. This is the rider today, by the way, the biscuits.
Yeah, absolutely, biscuits. Thank you.
Bickies.
Yes. So I will, obviously we'll pick up all the emails and stuff between us. We obviously get loads, so we advertise on, local social media pages and all that sort of stuff. For acts every year, we're completely independent, so we'll run through all the emails, try and meet them, try and go and see them, whatever, if we can. Because now, I mean, just as James said, that tent is much bigger than it was than how we first
Yes,
started.
the size has doubled,
We're
hasn't it, over the
now
last couple of years?
Yeah, we're now like non-stop until the early hours, so there's a huge amount of work to do beforehand. I mean, all the organisation needs to be done before we even arrive on site, sort of thing, and then obviously James is there to meet and greet and do the welcome and stuff. Well, I can just stand at the cocktail bar for 5 days, so it's not really so bad.
And what is your favourite cocktail?
Yeah, Moscow Mule in the cocktail bar. Moscow
Ooh.
Mule.
He always says that.
Yeah. Oh dear.
That
He
was
always
that
just,
Yeah.
we always have to make sure that we get on it later in the day though, because they are long old days, and we don't get a lot of opportunity to sleep.
Yeah.
Fortunately or unfortunately, but no, it's great.
And
But-
we've just grown with it,
Yeah.
basically.
And the fact that you're still enthusiastic and you still love it, despite all that work, as you say, it's the passion, isn't it?
We wouldn't do it otherwise, mate. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's just too much. Yeah, it's great, isn't it? It is great fun. We really look forward to it. And we give a good show.
And everybody loves having the cocktail tent to round things off.
Yeah, and like you said, like you mentioned before, the Sunday night's
It kicks off.
It's a good finisher.
It does, yeah.
when we can
After
start to
silent
relax a little
discos
bit,
there, yeah, that's it. And then you're allowed to actually have 2 Moscow mules in one night.
Yeah, just the 2. I always limit myself to just.
Yeah, you never
to
drink.
just 2. I never drink anything more than that the entire festival. Never anything more. But yeah, we are rammed.
You're very restrained.
Every night.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for the purpose of the podcast, let's say I'm very restrained. But yeah, it is. I mean, especially so during the day, it's nice. You know, there's people coming and going and that sort of stuff, and we always have, you know, like a variety of acts during the day, knowing full well that evening, nighttime, whenever it is, you know, that we then close, we are full on, non-stop.
Yeah, that's
party.
I suppose that's when the hardest part of the days come in is from about 6 o'clock onwards, because then it gets loud and we know we're going to get loads of people there.
Yeah. Ever had, and don't name them, but ever had an artist that's been difficult?
Yes, is the short answer.
Yeah.
Was that John Smith? Was his name?
Yeah, that was it. What was the band name? Yeah, we do, bless them. But I mean, luckily for us being musicians ourselves, we can sort of have, you know, the real conversations with them.
Yeah.
So we understand the way that it is. We try to communicate with them in the right way. They're generally pretty happy with how we set up. We give them the right information. You know, we're in the same industry.
Yeah.
I was hoping for a really good juicy story there, but you're being very discreet.
Yeah, there are some, but you also said to not name anyone.
I've
so
written
we're being careful.
it down, but I've kept it in my coat.
Yeah.
So
Right, okay, all right then. You can show me later.
I will do.
Thank you very much, James and Dave, for coming in from
Thank
the
you.
Brethryn Cocktail tent. Don't forget to check them out, because they are top lads. I've known them for a few years now.
We're all right.
And it's
Yeah,
going to...
not bad.
They're not bad, are they? Yeah.
Will do.
All right, that was another Lakefest HQ podcast.